Broad Street.
Oh, we are back. Oh, my God. Are we back? Because the Eagles have won. We feel good. You look good. I look good. Everybody looks good after a win, right? So we're automatically looking good.
And it's Kelly Green week.
It is Kelly Green week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fly Eagles Fly podcast. I am Corey Alexander along with
Jay Bliss.
That is Jay Bliss. Don't be going to the J-A-Y, man, because he'll be all kinds of in your grill. All right, folks, we got a lot to cover tonight. We're going to get right to the game highlights. Even when it's misery, we'll get to those right away. But I'm going to give you a quick heads up. Here's what I want to talk about tonight because I got a special little thing for you that you got to think about, Jay. Mm-hmm. We got BG coming back. Brandon Graham is coming back. That's going to help the pass rush. I have a little tidbit on how we're going to help our cornerbacks right away, by the way. Maybe you don't know anything about that. We got some other good stats coming up about Jalen Hurts and what he did. We got some great trivia coming up, including Jalen Hurts, that you guys got to go. And again, you need the trivia because you want the merchandise. BroadStreetMisery.com. We got a lot of merch on there. If you get the trivia tonight and you put it in the comments, we will send you out some lovely merchandise. Last but not least, you got to think about, Jay, here's my surprise thing you want to think about. Who is your all-time least favorite Eagle? Think about that for a minute now. Think about that. And that's also out there, ladies and gentlemen. Who was your least favorite Eagle of all time? Think about that. We're going to talk about the end of the show. And if you win that one, too, you also get a prize. All right. Let's get into the game review, Jay. Eagles come out victorious against Minnesota. It was a little touch and go for sure. Eagles are only up by 6. Yep. So that could have been disastrous how something come down. But who thought Jalen Hurts could throw a zero blitz pickup, air ball up to AJ, who ran underneath it to seal the game. So let's talk a little bit about some other things real fast in the game review. Jalen Carter was back. Yep. You have talked about how that was good. It was Eagles are 5-2, by the way, for the 4th straight season. That's unbelievable. We haven't done that since 1947 to 1950. We've got a little bit to talk about with our 4 points and how the defense pulled together, the offense pulled together. But let's start here, Jay. We led last week with the defense, how bad they played. I think that was good to lead with that. Let's start with the game review from the offensive standpoint. Let's start there. What are your thoughts?
Listen, from an offensive standpoint, the first drive couldn't have went any better. When I first saw that first drive,
you got a twist push in there.
Right. I said, this is going to be a cakewalk. I said, we're looking really good. And this is the beginning of the game. It didn't take us a drive to get it together. It was like, all right, boom, 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 boom. We down the field, touchdown. It looked great, great play, good improvisation by Jalen Hurts, and the fact that the offensive line held up and he was able to just say, hey, go, and just tossed it in. It looked easy. However,
here we go, folks. Here we go.
Then it just went off the rails. And then I just started cursing Kevin Patullo like he was my worst cousin. Like it was like I can't, like, the elementary way that this offense operates. Don't get me wrong. The drives that got us scores look totally different from what we were doing otherwise.
Right.
But you start off with the first drive and you run a pitch to Saquon, which gets positive yards. You put Jalen Hurts under center more this game than you have any other time this season. And that was a little twist because you used to seeing Jalen standing back behind the line.
But mostly in the second half, not necessarily the first half, because they did some things I'm going to talk about in a second.
Right. So it's not consistent. Like, it's not a situation where we're putting ourselves in a position to look like we're going to score every time or get in field scoring position every time. And it's just looking like I'll give you more reasons as to why I believe that's happening, but I want to hear your side of it.
Okay, so here's some so we love to give you insights, and Jay does I think the best of all of that. I did look at some other things this week, and here's some insights on the offense because people are always asking, why isn't he sending more? Why isn't he doing the RPO more? Here's a couple things you should look at. So, the Eagles campaign, everybody hears that the Eagles campaign, Devonta Smith was like, dude, we got to throw this bomb. Here's how this came to be. So if you want to break this down, I wish we had the clip to show you. But
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
here's how we're going to break this down. So in the first half, the reason that Devonta Smith recognized this, and this is brilliant by him, what they did was when they lined up with the formation that was heavy to the one side, everybody came crashing down. The safety, though, was between the hashes. So that was the key. They came crashing down. They put a lot in the box because they knew Barkley was running, and he did because Jalen was under center. But the key was the safety was between the hashes. Then the second time they ran it, which was, by the way, Jay, 2 in a row, which is like, how stupid can you be? You ran it to the left, then you ran it to the right. Back to back. Dumb play calls. That's not on Barkley.
Elementary. As if that team on the other side of the field don't study.
Or there's like, okay, we see that the jumbo's on the left, now the jumbo's on the right. Like, dude, it's just not. This is easy. Anyway,
that's one linebacker saying right, left.
Right. Yeah,
right.
And it was, and you saw them shift. I mean,
yeah.
it was so stupid, and they met Barkley every time. So what Devonta Smith picked up on is the first time they ran it, the safety was between the hashes. The second time they ran it, he was kind of leaning to the one hash or the other, but he was still between the hashes. What Devonta Smith said, he didn't say we should do this play. What he said was, if we put that jumbo up again, and we should, that's where we do play action pass. Only if the safety is on the other side of those hashes.
Yeah.
So if you look at that play, Jay. Yeah. The way that was designed was they did up the lineup and they crashed again. What the safety did was so if you're looking from Jalen Hurts' perspective, the safety moved to the other side of the hash to kind of on AJ's side.
Yeah.
So what has Devonta was matched up one-on-one with Rodgers. So what happened was which was brilliant. So this is what the play called. AJ went up, but he had to push up the field enough to get that safety to go back a little bit. But then he cut in, so then the safety would cut in. The safety bit only a little bit, but by the time he realized that Devonta Smith was going past him, Jalen had already thrown the ball.
Right.
So what they did was they made believe that they were running that ball again, which they didn't. But then they thought, oh, we're throwing it to AJ on the cutover cross because we don't like to throw deep. But by that time, so it was all brilliant construction. And Devonta Smith recognized when that safety's on the other side of that hash, he's not going to grab me. There's nobody, and he's like, I know I can beat Isaiah Rodgers, which he did.
Yeah.
So the way that all came together was brilliant.
The other smart thing about that play was you would think that Devonta would run on the outside and try to get past him.
Correct.
And he ran towards the middle of the field, which Isaiah Rodgers, not saying he's bad, but in that situation, he isolated. He got no help. He wanted Devonta to go into the sideline so he can use that as a defender. And
real fast, did you see how he twisted his hips to have him go?
Like he was going to go around him, but he went this way. The thing about it is as a defender, when you know you don't have any safety help, you have to get that receiver on your inside so that you can use the out of bounds as the other defender.
Correct.
That way you only have to defend the person getting past you because they can't go inside because you're beside him. When he cut to the inside of his body, he knew he was butt naked out there. He knew he was butt naked.
He knew he's done.
Yeah, you toast. And
that's what. And if you look at Devonta, he gave that inside move, and that's where Isaiah was pushing him, and that's where he wanted to go. But then when he went back this way, Isaiah Rodgers, you almost could see it in his face. He's like, "Oh shit!
Oh man, ain't nothing I can do. I got no help. I got no safety help. None."
Here's the other one I looked at for this one, and this was brilliant. So this is where I'm seeing Jalen needs to take more control of this stuff. I don't know if you saw this. So here's the breakdown. I'm talking about the game-winning play. The game-winning play, what happened was there was 3rd and 9, right? And this is bad. 3rd and 9 is tough to do, and you got the game on the line.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw this, but what happened was he's in the shotgun. He sees that they're doing a zero blitz, right? They isolated AJ, but here's the thing. I don't know if you saw it, but Jalen Hurts did this. Remember the little gun he always does? Which means you're my hot route, and you got to bust in. So go up and bust in because I'm going to give you that 9-yard out so I can do this. He gives him the gun, but he only gives it real fast. Usually he does like the little 1-2 shots. He just did a quick one. The quarterback is looking at Jalen and saw that. And AJ nods, and then he turns around, and now they're face-to-face. The cornerback is like, I got this, man. Isaiah Rodgers is like, I got this. So you see AJ go up a 9 and cut, but then he immediately went straight up. And Isaiah, again, butt naked. He didn't realize that what Jalen was doing was playing mind games with him to tell him, you got to go in, but you're going to go up. I'm just going to throw it up because you're one-on-one and nobody's going to be there. That was brilliant. That
But here's
was
the thing.
brilliant.
So on fourth downs, and everybody that doesn't watch football doesn't understand this. Fourth downs are meant for man-to-man coverage. Like most teams are going to go man-to-man coverage. You're very rarely going to see a team go zone and man-to-man because they only need a certain amount of yards. If you go zone, people can find pockets to get into and sit, and they're going to be open. So most fourth down plays or third and longs are man-to-man. If it is man-to-man, no, I'm not going to say most third and long, because third and long, they'll do a zone as well. They'll just cover the sticks. Fourth and short, man-to-man. And 9 times out of 10, Jalen's going to believe in Devonta or AJ to get the ball on the outside, one-on-one coverage.
Yep.
So, I mean, we've seen it happen. I don't know how many times we've seen this happen. Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was another one.
When they called the pass interference on the offense.
Yep.
He was gone.
He did a little thing
like this, throw it up, and he's going to go get it. So when I see one-on-one coverage on the outside, I go up AJ or up Devonta one-on-one. That's all you need to see.
So that I thought was really brilliant, and that's where you want to have Patullo. All you need is I think Kellen Moore gave him that guidelines as the season went on. It looked like Kellen Moore was like, I'm giving you the base offense of what you want to run. And then when you see it, you design it, you call what you need to call to get that best matchup. Right. And that's exactly what happened Sunday. And that's got to happen more often. So when he did that little thing to AJ, I didn't realize it until they broke that down where he gave him a little look. The cornerback saw it and the cornerback just bit as soon as he did that little cut in because he thought, oh, they're going to try and do the quick out. I'm going to be all over this shit. And whoop, went right behind him. Yeah. And at first I was like, what is he doing? He's just throwing up in the air. But that was brilliant. He's just going to throw it up and you're going to run underneath that. Because I'm not going to overthrow you and I'm not going to underthrow you. I'm just going to put it where you can grab it, and we just need a first down. That's all we need.
No doubt.
It was absolutely brilliant. So let me finish out all the other stuff here for the offense. By the way, real fast, speaking of Jalen, here's a list of every quarterback in the Eagles' 93-year history to complete 82% of their passes, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Here's the list of them. Ready? Jalen Hurts.
I knew that was coming. Dude,
he was 10 of 12 for 240 yards and 2 TDs in the second half. Unbelievable. So Barkley was 5 for 25 on the first drive, 13 for 19 the rest of the game. That can't happen. Yeah. Remember Barkley last year? I don't know if you saw this. Barkley last year, the amount of yards he ran just in the second half all season, just in the second half, beat like 80% of the running backs in the NFL, which is unheard of.
Right. But there's the perspective I think people have to recognize. Last year, Saquon started hot, which caused teams to play us different, which put us at a beneficial way of being able to balance and have run and pass.
Right.
After Jalen's performance on Sunday, Giants coming in, they're a little bit scared of these receivers at this point.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, we don't have the horses back here to deal with that. They shouldn't have had it the first time. I don't know what happened that first time.
That great game was awful.
But I think that Saquon does get off a little bit this game as opposed to – because they tried to do it in the beginning. It just wasn't happening. Mm-hmm. I hate the runs up the middle. Like, unless y'all figure it out. And then when I see Detroit play last night, I'm like, woo, where's that hole for us? Like, you know what I'm saying? Did you see it?
And here's the thing, too. Here's the other part that pissed me off about Detroit. Their center, who was like one of the top 2 centers in the league, retired. He's gone out of there.
Yeah.
And they still are killing it on the run game. So
that was the same thing for us when Cam Jurgens filled in for Kelsey.
But they didn't have a center like we did. We had a center that was groomed, ready to go. They didn't have that.
You're right. But he's also getting penalties called on him too.
Yeah, I know. That's another whole story we'll get into. So anyway, here's the thing with Barkley. 20 for 22 in the first quarter, 4 for 10 the rest of the game. Giants, he was 2 for 31 in the first drive and then 10 for 27. There's just this theme now. He's averaging almost 5 yards a carry in the first quarter, 3.8 in the second quarter, 3.6 in the third quarter, 1.4 in the fourth quarter. It's just a big tail off, and it usually went like this last year. Yeah. So I get that you said they knew how to play us and they had a hard start, but still, like, we were just bullying our way in the fourth quarter, and we're just not doing that anymore.
Because you need the whole offensive line to be locked in, and I can point out the 2.5 weak points. I mean, Mailata and Johnson are not the problem.
They're not the problem.
They did bring Fred Johnson in though.
for the jumbo. Only for the jumbo.
I might be asking the question: why not put Fred Johnson in place of Steen?
Something's bad. Well, here's the thing: we know that Dickinson's hurt.
Yeah,
Jurgens is hurt, and Steen stinks. So I wouldn't say. Well, let me say that that's pretty bad. Steen does not stink, but he's not Becton, and that's
not Becton. Yeah, he doesn't stink. He's just not Mekhi Becton.
And that's what's hurting this offense. He just can't do what he did, and I don't think he's learning as quickly. Becton learned, and he was ready to roll like by the second game. Like he was.
Remember he was a tackle. He wasn't even a guard.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he learned fast.
But that's why I just mentioned the Fred Johnson situation.
I don't know. I think
I might feel better with Fred Johnson standing next to Lane Johnson and putting Steen over where Toth was, and then letting Mailata stay over there.
I don't know, because the thing is, I think you need Fred healthy and ready to go. Should, God forbid, Johnson or Mailata go down, I think you got to have him out there.
I know, man. I know. I feel you, but I mean, if Johnson goes down, just put BG in there.
Love it. We'll get to BG in a minute. All right. Here's another issue. Barkley's blitz pickup remains a problem.
Listen. That last play,
yeah,
Jalen almost got lit up. I'm like, Bart, why is he in the middle? That man came from the outside. Jalen almost got lit up there.
So Barkley all season, we've been talking about this, and I got to tell you, his blitz pickup remains a problem. He is constantly picking the wrong one. The only time that he picked up the right one is when Steen actually smartly was like, yo, outside hip, you got to come and get this guy. And he did. But he's okay, so here's the thing. Vikings linebacker Eric Wilson, he got run over by Eric Wilson.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he held him.
Yeah, but that dude, listen, man.
And Hurts got sacked. And then Will Shipley did a better job on a series later, but it's something where you might have to have like either Shipley or Bigsby or even AJ Dillon. But by the way, I didn't realize this, but AJ Dillon inactive.
Yeah, he wasn't in that game. Yeah.
Interesting. But you're right. The Tank Bigsby had his first big carry, went 11 yards, but that was it. Will Shipley had it, a couple series here and there, but Will Shipley seems to be doing a better job at blitz pickup than Barkley. I don't know if maybe you want to put him in third down, because also Shipley's great with his hands. So could he be a third down guy? I think so.
I think that's what he was brought in for. I mean,
yeah,
Barkley doesn't necessarily have to be in 3 downs, but unless he's getting his runs, you don't have to worry about him being in for third down.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's still on Kevin Patu. Let's not misfocus here. Let's stop crapping on all the guys first.
All right.
It's still on Kevin Patullo to figure out a scheme to allow Barkley to get off. I'm sorry. You found a way for AJ to get off. You found a way for Devonta to get off. Maybe Barkley need to start talking shit in the locker room.
Could be. Dallas Goedert had a quiet game, 3 passes, 18 yards. The other guys didn't do much. As we talked about, Mailata and Johnson were fine all game. The O-line led away on a successful 4th down tush push on the opening drive. Fred Johnson's the early 6 guy. So Cam Jerry was sidelined early. We still don't know about his knee injury. He went for an MRI on Monday, but I haven't heard anything. There's been no talk about that. Right. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's good news or bad news that they haven't talked about it, but we'll find out tomorrow. Drew Kendall was inactive. It's been most of the season. I don't know if he's the guy that you might want to bring in instead of Brett Toth. I think Brett was okay, but he got bowled over on one of his first snaps. Barkley was dropped in the backfield. So he got better as the game went on, I think, but he still is not a clear cut better than Drew Kendall. So I think you got to figure that out. And again, Tyler Steed's holding penalty in the third quarter brought back a big run by Barkley. So I don't know what you do there, but that's my whole view of the offense for that whole game. Let's jump into the defense now. Let's wrap up the defense here. Wasn't a perfect effort by any means. They allowed 387, almost 400 yards. But most of that was passing by Wentz because he threw a bunch. I think he threw like 42 or 43 times. It was a lot. But they were good when they need to be. And here's the Jay Bliss defensive wrap up in one thing. It doesn't matter the 20s to the 20s. He doesn't care. You can get all the yards you want. It's in that red zone. And that's where they were great in the red zone. So here's the thing. Ready for this? The Vikings had drives down to the 17, 16, 11, and 10. And guess what, Jay? What did they settle for every time?
Field goal. Except for that one time. At one time, which was a replay assist touchdown. Right. Like I don't even think he got in.
He did get in on the one time, and it's okay. But it's the classic bend don't break, and and we're okay with that. The only problem is we're still letting up like 23 points a game, and that's got to be moved down to like 17.
Yeah, here's my caveat to that. Us letting up that many points isn't the defense's fault. It's the fact that the offense is going 3 and out so many times that they're on the field more. Right. So if you had a longer, so this was the part that I was trying to, the guy I was watching the game next to, I said, I don't have a worry about this game. I feel as if the Eagles are going to come in, run the ball, run the clock. That's what I thought. That first drive was 7+ minutes. When we scored, they only had 6:50 left in the first quarter.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm talking about. Now think about that for a second. There's 4 quarters. If you take that much time for 4 drives and get 28 points each time you do it, let's be generous. Let's say you only got 24 points. They got less than half the game to come back. Am I right?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. You're right. The biggest thing to me is they're having too much time just sitting around, and then it's like all of a sudden, I'm sorry, not enough time to be sit around the bench like last year. Last year, the defense, it was unbelievable. They were on the bench more than Ben Simmons. That was the beauty part of it.
Sixers reference. Season starts tonight. So listen, let me put you on this one part 2.
Go ahead.
You got the defense that's out there for long periods of time. The offense is also shooting themselves in the foot by having 2nd and 12, 2nd and 11, 2nd and 14s, 2nd and 13s on a regular basis. And that comes from a dumb run play that's behind the line of scrimmage for the first play.
Yep.
Right. A 5-yard false start penalty.
Yep.
Right. After a 2-yard gain. Right. These are all happening regularly in the first half. And I'm like, how are we going to get first downs if every time we start is 2nd and 12, 2nd and 14? You only ran 1 play. How's it negative already? I'm like, can we get a 3rd and 4?
Yeah.
Can we get a 2nd and 1? Like, can we get it? Because if we get a 2nd and 1, that's 2 deep shots and then a tush push. Like,
so there you go. And then you have the second half where Barkley's starting to get momentum, a 13-yard run, and it's like, holding, Steen coming back. So not only are you not 13 yards ahead, but you're now 10 yards back.
Right.
So now it's 1st and 20 versus 1st and 10 from the 40. I mean, this is a problem. And this is why the defense is like, dude, are you kidding me? And they're going
to listen. As soon as they say 2nd and 15, they start grabbing their helmets. They're like, we about to be back out of here on this bullshit.
Yeah, Ben Simmons is like, I ain't playing. I don't care what you do.
Right.
So we had Carter back, which was great. He buried Wentz as he hit Wentz. He threw the Jalix Hunt. Love that. Dean looked a little rusty, but he looked back to his old self after a little while. He was a little early. I think he was trying to figure it out, but then he started playing free. He looked great. He finished with 6 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. Jahad Campbell spent a good time lining up on the edge, but I didn't see much from him on the edge. And I know that Vic addressed that earlier this week. And he said, Campbell's still learning how to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't think everybody's like, well, why don't we just do those 3? I'm like, because Campbell's not ready to be that edge rusher.
Nah. And the thing about it is you're not setting up for 3 linebackers. He has to get reps. Reps are what's going to make you better. You just can't walk into a basketball game and start shooting threes. That ain't what you do. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Ben's like, I don't shoot at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean,
for the first time this year, ready for this? First time this year, Jay, the Eagles have finally held a team under 100 rushing yards, only because they were down most of the game, and that was more passing.
Well, I didn't see them gashing us anyway. Like, I felt like
a little bit.
Every time they would get like a positive yard, though, we have a big hit in the backfield too.
Correct. Like, they would gash us for like 8-9 yards.
Yeah, the first down runs wasn't working because, I mean, Jordan Davis and Jalen was there. They were like, nah, man, where you going? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they would gash us for like 7-8 yards on like a second down or something. But then and then they would 2 times in a row, we'd have a stuff at the line of scrimmage. So that
or Wentz would throw a dirt ball or something crazy. Yeah.
God. So the Vikings averaged 3.9 yards per carry, the lowest average all this year against Eagles, who came under the, they were averaging, the Eagles were giving up an average of 4.7 yards per carry and 134 yards a game. That's ridiculous. So they almost held them to a yard under their average, which was great. So let's hope that keeps improving.
Yeah.
And by the way, Carson, if you take out Carson's stuff, they held the Vikings running backs to 3.2 yards a carry, which was huge. The pass rush effect was pretty early. Moro Ojomo got a third down sack. Uche,
they got us for
you realize there's nobody on this team at that moment that had a sack from the edge until Uche did that, because the only guys who did was Zadarius Smith, who's retired, and Nolan Smith, who's on IR. So the only person that had a sack was nobody on that line.
Right.
But Jalen had like a half a sack or something this year, but I don't really count that. So blah, blah, blah. But Jalen Hurts had an early defensive play with a pick six. He dropped back into coverage. It was beautiful. I thought that's the kind of stuff we want to see from Vic. I think it's something where the problem I still have with this team is if Vic is going to continue to look to blitz here and there, that blitz has got to get through. I don't see our blitzes getting through. Our guys aren't getting through. Our pass rush still has to be a lot better and a lot to be desired. And BG, we can get to that now. I think he's still going to offer more in the run support, which I think is really important now too, because our run's getting gashed. I think it's more that they're going to get a little bit run help and his pass rush too. But I see more from Brandon Graham setting an edge, which I think Uche and Jalix Hunt are not doing. And Brandon Graham's going to show him how to get it done.
Well, we'll get into the Brandon Graham thing ultimately. But what the first thing I want to do is basically prove my doubters wrong, because everybody was going into this game a little bit nervous and like, oh, I don't feel good about this, and the Vikings are going to do this, and the Vikings are going to do that, and they had all these predictions. We gave our predictions. We both said that the Eagles were going to win this game. Right. I wasn't nervous at any point in this game, even after the non-touchdown from Hawkinson. I just felt like we can't lose to the Vikings. Like, we couldn't lose to the Vikings. But I had to prove my people wrong, and we got to show you what we did when it comes to people predicting the Eagles losing to the Vikings.
Carson Wentz revenge game, so this is going to be my upset of the week. Give me the Vikings to shock the Eagles and continue that downward spiral as the Vikings get a big win off the bye week.
Hurts will have to navigate pressure while throwing at a secondary allowing only 157 yards per game and an 88 passer rating. Corner Isaiah Rodgers has been elite. Opponents are posting a 36 rating when targeting him, but the deep rhythm just hasn't been there. Prediction, Vikings 27, Eagles 21.
I'm going to go Vikings money line.
I'm taking the Vikings. The Eagles can't score.
Oh, taking the Vikings?
Yeah. They can't score in the second half. They've only scored 24 points in the second half, minus the Rams game when they actually did something. Throughout the whole season, the Vikings averaged 21 points in the second half. So they're a second half team. The Eagles are a first half, because the Eagles probably might score maybe 3 to 7 points in the second. So that game could definitely go to the Vikings, and I believe it will.
Minnesota Vikings versus Philadelphia Eagles prediction. The Vikings are going to win.
I'm gonna pick the Vikings. I'm gonna pick them to win 27-20. That's what I'm gonna do.
I've never been like crazy high on Hurts, but like he only does well when people push him in the ass.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Jalen can't. What?
8 back in coverage this time for Minnesota. Hurts pointing, throwing, trying to find a loose man. It's A.J. Brown. He's in. Touchdown Eagles on the opening drive. With Juergens dealing with an injury. Deep drop for Hurts, trying to find something downfield. And it's Devonta Smith. He's loose. He's got it. He is gone. Touchdown Eagles. 5 on the pressure. Hurts throws down the seam. A.J. Brown touchdown.
And like he got carried by their defense last year, and their defense is not as good this year.
Madison. Blitz coming. Wentz hit as he throws, picked off. Intercepted. There goes Jalix Hunt. House call Philadelphia. His first NFL pick leads to his first touchdown. 2 downs. So Wentz is rolling out Looking downfield, launches a ball, dangerous pass, intercepted. Picked off by Andrew Makuba.
300 yards, perfect passer rating. He is a quarterback. Super Bowl MVP. Keep his name out of your mouth. Y'all wrote us off. Just admit it. You wrote us off. We thought the season was over. We are too talented. We have too many weapons. And we are going to get it together. We are a threat in the NFC. And I need you to stop doubting the Eagles. We will be there at the end. Fly, Eagles, fly. On to next week. Go Birds.
Y'all thought I was finished?
Let's get it. That's what I'm saying. I love proving people wrong. Corey, that's basically what it boils down to.
All right, let's finish this off real fast. That was great. Rookie Jahad Campbell played some outside linebacker. Nakobe Dean went inside. So Campbell had some edge rush chances, but didn't get home. So he finished with 3 tackles. Dean finished with 6 tackles. He was only behind in his first game. He's only behind Zach Bond for most tackles, who had 10.
Okay.
Bond was over the field, by the way. He's just looking as good as he was last year. And by the way, he made a tough open field tackle on a pass in the flat in the second quarter, if you remember that, but that was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Adoree Jackson got the nod ahead of Keely Ringo. He didn't allow much until the Vikings receiver, Jalen Naylor, converted a third down in the fourth quarter, but Jackson got up slowly and played later and suffered a game-ending concussion. That forced the embattled Ringo into action, and a drive later, Jordan Addison just went off. So that was bad. So I guess Jackson's the better of the two, but here's my surprising thing. How are we going to get cornerback help? Well, it might be coming this week or next week, maybe after the bye, but Ja'Cory Bennett is coming back. So there's where we could we can't do any worse than anything else. And I still think he is going to be the best of the 3. So I think right now what you're looking at is he's going to come back, and I don't think they're going to trade. I think they're still going to trade for DN help, but I don't think they're going to do anything other than bring Bennett back.
Not so fast.
What do you got?
I think Denzel Ward is in play.
That would be big. But here's the thing. Cleveland is, what's his face stayed. And that's the only thing I don't know if Denzel is going to be in play, because Myles Garrett said, I'm in. Now, Denzel Ward didn't.
No. He restructured his contract and took less money. They redid his contract so that he's getting paid less. He's in play.
I would love to trade both Ringo and a Jackson for Denzel Ward, and
they're not going to take Ringo.
I meant whatever draft picks you got to send those, but say, listen, we're going to give you Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo. We're just going to throw it in there. We'll give you the first round pick.
They'll be like, we'll give you BG. They're going to be like, yeah, we'll take BG.
Quinyon Mitchell didn't follow Justin Jefferson, by the way. He wasn't targeted much by Wentz, but he had soft coverage in the fourth quarter that allowed Addison that 20-yard reception. So that was about the only thing he did wrong all game. Cooper DeJean, by the way, was up and down. He had tight coverage on Addison in the end zone. He also broke up the end zone pass to Justin Jefferson, which was brilliant. I loved it. But he let Naylor get behind him for a 26-yard gain in the second quarter. So he was a little up and down, but mostly he was pretty good. Makuba, by the way, this is from Vic, he's having a true rookie season.
Yeah.
He looks great one minute. He looks terrible the next.
Yeah. Like he made the interception. He made the interception and he missed the tackle. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He later whiffed on a huge sideline tackle attempt, and Jefferson turned out to what it should have been a short catch into a 40-yard pickup. So that just cannot happen.
Right.
Blankenship, I thought, played pretty well. He got beat by Addison on a third down conversion in the red zone, but otherwise he kept the middle pretty secure. Eagles had a busted coverage when Addison got behind Mitchell in that zone coverage for 37 yards. So I'm not sure whose responsibility that was, but other than that, mostly they play again. They left of those big, 35 yarders, 40 yarders, whatever it was, but between 20 and the end zone, ain't nothing happening.
Right.
Xavier Gibson was finally activated. He had 5 kick returns for a 25-yard average. Shipley had averaged 29 on 2 returns, so I still think Shipley's a better returner. Jake Elliott was right on a 42-yard field goal attempt, so special teams a little I didn't like that miss. His first miss all season, but he made all his extra points. Brandon Mann averaged 48 yards on 3 boots, so his average was a little low, but that's okay. Eagles did not have a single punt return. No surprise there.
No.
I swear to God, they do more waving than a guy who brings in airplanes. He just be like, yep. Like, dude, I don't think the guy's bringing in jets, but, the Hodson just does not even want to run at all. Latu was flagged for another illegal combo block in third quarter. I swear to God, if they get one more personal foul on these things, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, the special teams are a problem too. So, I mean, discipline's got to come in from somewhere. You know what I mean? But they can't keep shooting themselves in the foot.
So that is the special teams. I thought they were up and down a little bit. So, by the way, Elliott's next kickoff landed short of the landing zone, and there was another penalty. Vikings got the ball at the 40. Also cannot happen. You cannot give them an extra 10 yards. So you got to work on that too. Here's the thing with coaching. Everybody wants, so this is going to follow up, and we'll get into our stats and our top fives and our 4 points. My biggest thing with the coaching is I always second guess Sirianni a little bit, and I don't think he's good or bad. I'm not saying that. You always second guess him a little bit, but you look at the 2-5 start in 2021.
Yeah.
You look at the lapse of 2023.
Yeah.
The 2-2 start last year, and then look at the 2-game losing streak this year. And guess what happened every time? They made the playoffs, and they looked pretty good afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever he's doing it right.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
coaching to me still right now, at least for the head coach, is still getting an A because I don't know how he does it, but this guy seems to rebound better than Charles Barkley.
Well, it's not hard to rebound when you have enough talent on the team to do so.
But you got to corral them in the right way.
But the talent the talent can overshadow the huge mistakes that's being made, and it's bailing them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't live like that because you've seen what happened in 2020. Like we've seen what happened in 2023.
Right.
So, it all can come to a head or they can all get better from it. You know what I mean? Now, let's go into BG coming back and why we think that this could be huge for the team as a whole. Number one, I'm not expecting BG to come in and be this world changer. He's not. He supposed to be what Zadarius Smith could have been for us.
Yes.
And that's all we was asking Zadarius to do. Don't get me wrong. Nolan Smith got hurt. Zadarius had to do a little bit extra. If BG had been here the whole time and Zadarius Smith was still there, Zadarius Smith might not have retired.
Right.
He might not retire. But BG is going to come in. He's going to coach up a Uche. He's going to coach up a Jalen Hunt. He's going to get them to do what he needs them to do on the other side. And when he's not in the game, to keep things consistently pressure on the quarterback. The little things that you might be able to do. You might not get there, but if you go here, this tackle has to move in this direction, and the quarterback can see that they're getting pressure and move off the spot. Like all those little things. And I think that is nothing but positive things are going to happen. I just pray for the man's health. I pray that he stays healthy and that he just makes a play every now and again.
You're right that the intangible that BG will bring to this team is the on-field coaching. That's something
the talk alone.
Well, yeah, but putting all this trash talk aside, which he is famous for,
right,
or infamous, that intangible of his on-field coaching, telling at the last minute, Jalix, you're going to do this real fast because I'm going to do this, and this is going to get us to the quarterback. That's not something you're getting from Uche and Ojulari and all those other guys. It just ain't happening. So you need somebody like Brandon Graham to do that. So I agree.
Right.
All right, let's get to our 4 points tonight.
Yeah.
We got to get into it. So 4 points. Give me your first 4 point.
Chicks love the long ball.
I love that. That's very nice. Very nice.
Throw them deep passes. Let's go.
And I was a pitcher in high school, so that tells you what. Yeah, I didn't get the check. So good. That's good. My first 4 point was the defense much better. Again, they gave up 400 yards, but they did what they had to do when things came down to it. And that, to me, was the big difference between the Giants game and that game, is that they said, hey, we'll make them score field goals, not touchdowns. We're going to keep this game close. Love that from the defense. What's your number 2?
Please, please, please improve upon your play calls.
Yes.
Like, it has to make sense. Like it has to make sense. 3rd and 14, why are you running the ball? Like, do something. Set up a screen pass. Do something. Like first down, you going -2 yards on first down. So now you automatically know you're gonna have to pass the ball on second down. Why are you running it again in the same direction in the same slot? Like you got -2, now you got -1. Like, what are you doing? So better play calls has to come through.
Yep, I like that a lot. I thought Hurts was, speaking of improvement, Hurts was improved. I think, as I said, I pointed out early why he has improved. I just don't think he was seeing the field a certain way because his dynamic between the first and second halves has just been so dichotomous that I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the play calling, whatever it is, but he's just been so uneven. And this game, he had a little rough going the first half. He obviously had a nice first drive, but he had a little rough going. The second quarter was not good, but you saw in the third and fourth quarter, his mindset was just totally different. And I think if that stays consistent the rest of the year, I don't think you're going to stop this offense. That's really what it's going to come down to. All right, number 3 for you.
Number 3 is just offensive penalties. First of all, the play calling is not up to par, but we can't keep getting offensive penalties to keep putting us back behind the sticks. So it's like, I want to see 3rd and 4s and 3rd and 5s and not, 2nd and 12s, like I said earlier. Like we have to find a way to get ahead of the sticks. I don't care if it's 2nd and 8. I'd rather be 2nd and 8 than 2nd and 12. At least I know that we can get close to a first down.
Okay. My number 3 was no turnovers. I thought that was big.
Yeah.
Not turning that ball over was the big difference between the Giants. Because remember, we were driving on that Giants game. If he throws a touchdown there, that's a different ball game.
Yeah, 2 turnovers, different. Yeah.
A huge difference in that game. So this to me was a huge difference. And the Eagles got to learn that your biggest asset to being 4-0 was no turnovers. That was huge.
Right.
That was big. So you saw what happened in those back-to-back games. Those turnovers meant everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was big for me. And I think that's got to, again, consistency is what's got to happen. Give me number 4.
Number 4 is just the defense is improving. Like, I think the defense is starting to find out who they are. Like, they know that they're different from last year. They know where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are. And our back end is learning because we still got a rookie back there playing safety, which was taken over for a veteran. We know our weaknesses at the second cornerback position. I think Quinyon is doing what Quinyon is supposed to do, and he's holding down his end of the bargain. And I think our linebacking core is the best linebacking core in the league. We just got to figure out which duo we're going to use.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just going to get better from here. And Jalen Carter, keep doing what you do, man.
I think you hit on a key note here. Talk about consistency. One of the biggest things everybody keeps talking about, and it's valid, is the offense needs to find an identity. They really do. And I think they're slowly finding it. But what's lost in that shuffle, the biggest thing you just told, the defense needs to find its identity because you're pointing out a good point. You can't run it back to last year. You're not going to be number 1 again this year. You're just not going to run it back year to year. No. You're just not. It can't be because it's not the same people.
Yeah.
You got to find out who you are and how you fit into this defense to get it into the top 10. But it's not going to happen tomorrow. But if you slowly figure this out, everybody on this defense, you'll figure this out.
They're not a number 1 defense, but they can be a championship defense.
Yeah, absolutely. They can get to themselves close to the top 10.
In combination with our offense, they could be a championship defense.
Right. And one begets the other. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, your game ball?
Game ball goes to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, perfect passer rating, 3 touchdowns. Yo, I mean, did he answer the question?
I have a lot more questions.
Howard Eskin is the best quarterback on the bench, or is the best quarterback on the field? Idiot.
See that, by the way. That's part of our trivia question night. We got a couple of trivia questions tonight. The first is Jalen Hurts is the 3rd Eagles quarterback to ever have a perfect passer rating, joining who? Who are the other 2 quarterbacks to have a perfect passer rating? And if you can name the game in which they had the perfect passer rating, those 2 other quarterbacks, I'll give you an extra merchandise. How about that? And by the way, speaking of Hurts again, another trivia question in this is, Jalen Hurts, the 79-yard pass play was the 2nd longest of his career. What was the longest pass of his career? And to who did it go to? So there you go. Think about that. Think about that, Jay. We'll talk about it at the end.
Okay.
And that's my game ball too, is also Hurts. So let's get to our drama queen.
My drama queen goes to Hawkinson and Jefferson. Hawkinson was crying that was a catch. And I think we've gone over this over and over and over again. If the ground has assisted you with controlling the ball, it's not a catch. And when he went and grabbed the ball, it clearly hit the ground, bounced up towards his body, and then he tried to grab it. It landed on his back, it rolled on his stomach, then he grabbed it. It's not a catch.
Well, I actually think I think it's the opposite of what you said. Not the opposite, but some of the little things, because what the guy said on TV made sense. He said, when you're catching the ball and you go to the ground, they now say if the nose or something hits the ground while you're doing it and you have your hands around it, it's okay. It's still a catch. But if you go down and that ball moves as a result of hitting that ground, that is not a catch. And that's what happened.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And you cried about it. They had a clip up about when Devonta caught the ball and he was bobbling around when he landed on the ground backwards. And I'm like, it's not the same thing. That ball never touched the ground. His did.
Yeah, it can bobble on your chest, on your nose, on your head, you know. You can spit it.
And then Justin Jefferson, they asked him about Cooper DeJean D'ing him up in that when that play in the end zone. And he was like, that's more on me. And I'm like, no, it's not more on you.
He knocked it out.
Because he was on you. Like that.
He knocked it out of your hands.
So you trying to tell me you was going to drop that if he wasn't there? He was there. He knocked it out your hand. And I was like, so you mad. You got mad because you got D'd up by the white dude. That's all you mad about. You the best receiver in the league, and you mad that you got D'd up by the white dude. Hey, everybody gets done by the Cooper DeJean, man. You know what I mean?
Let's hear it for the white boy. Let's hear it for the white boy. No. I'm doing a cabbage patch for that. Here we go.
Yeah, he was a drama queen for that. He could have just said, yo, that's a good young player right there. That's all he could have said. He made a good
play. That's all he had. Props.
Yeah.
My drama queen was Greenlaw. Dude, what is up with this guy yelling at the ref and challenging him that he would kill him?
Yeah.
He made a threat to his life. I mean, dude, what is wrong with you? And then he had the balls to appeal it. And here's a shocker. They said no. They denied his appeal. Well, they had the appeal, but they denied him and said, nope, you're still getting suspended.
Yeah.
Idiot, man.
Yeah.
Little lesson for the kids out there. Don't be talking trash to the refs, man. Not a good thing.
You can't get technicals in the NFL, so you be like, so.
Yeah, you're just gone.
Yeah, they can't kick you out yet.
All right, give me your quick grades.
For my offense, I have a B. Defense, I have a B. Offense, I have a B minus.
Okay.
Defense, I have a B. Special teams, I have a C. Jake, what you doing missing that last one, man? Come on, bro. That field goal, that was brutal. And coaching, I have a C. All because of the offense. I have us as a C.
Okay. I had a B plus for everything except coaching. I had a B just because I thought, again, the offense of mind of plays and calls was very much to be desired in the first half. But the second half, I think a lot more went to Jalen than to Patullo. But again, if Patullo can work the way Moore did, where you give him the plate and let Hurts cook and do those little things that he did. I told you the two examples of what he really did. That's on the quarterback. That's not on him. And I think Jalen hasn't been doing that much this year. To give him props, but also to give him some negative because he deserves a little criticism too. He has not been doing that this year. And I think that game is going to give him the clout now and the confidence for him to be like, let's work with Devonta and Jalen on these things. And we can now do our little eye test and get it done the way we need to do. I loved all that stuff. That was really impressive.
Yep.
All right, let's get to quick Eagles stats, and then we're going to get into our Giants-Eagles preview.
Yep.
Top five. I was going to get to that. I just remembered that. So real fast to last week. What was your top five real fast last week from 1 to 5?
Last week, my top 5 goes down like I had the Colts, Eagles, Bucks, Green Bay, Steelers.
Okay, last week, no Eagles. Tampa, Green Bay, Colts, Pittsburgh, Denver. And last week, ESPN and NFL both had Tampa as their number 1 team. So let's get into this week's top 5. Let's start with your number 5.
Rams.
That's my number 5 too. I like it. All right, number 4 for you.
I have the Lions.
The Lions at 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I got the Bills at 4. I still like them a lot.
I don't.
Go ahead. Number 3 for you.
I have the Chiefs. at 3.
Wow, that is interesting because I'm going to bring that up in a second.
You got their weapons back, man. They look different out there.
I put my boys back in there, but they're at number 3. The Eagles at 3. So number 2 for you.
I have the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles at number 2.
All right, I like that. Lions, I have at number 2.
Yeah.
And number 1 for you?
I got the Colts.
I did too. How can you not?
Those dudes are balling, man. They balling.
Dude, they got a great. I mean, Daniel Jones is a different guy. With Steichen is
Steichen is that guy.
Steichen is magic, dude. That guy might be the next brain in the NFL. He might be like a Shanahan type, man. He's that good. And you got Daniel Jones just cooking, and then you got what's his face back. The running back is back. I mean, he is back big time.
Yeah.
He's crushing it. So, and that defense looks good. I mean, that whole team, man, they're legit.
Yep.
I took me a while because I'm like, I'm not putting them in there, but they have proven it. They are legit.
Well, they got an easy division. Like, it's not like they have any problems. Their division is very easy. So
true, but they're doing what they need to do within that division.
Within the division, you're doing what you're supposed to do, but it's going to be the games outside of the division. Let's see what can you really do. You know what I mean?
All right, real fast. ESPN, their top 5 was Lions, Colts, Eagles, Bucks, Rams. For some reason, I still love the Bucks. I took them out of there because I have the Bills. But NFL has no Eagles in the top 5. They have Lions, Colts, Chiefs at 3. That's why it's interesting you bring that up.
These are 3. Yeah.
Seahawks, Packers.
Seahawks and Packers. Seahawks and Packers. Are you crazy?
Over the Eagles.
First of all, the Packers are not better than the Eagles. And the Seahawks are definitely not better than the Eagles.
Yeah.
But trust me when I tell you, keep doubting us. Keep doubting us.
They had Eagles at 6, by the way.
I don't care.
I know. Let you know. But I thought that was interesting because, look, are the Chiefs the Chiefs? I don't know. Right now, they look a little up.
No, this is why I put them at 3.
Because Rice came back?
No. Here's the thing. You got to look way before that. You saw what the Lions did last night.
Right.
The Chiefs stopped all of that. Their defense stopped all of that. I'm going to say Brown, he didn't do all that against the Chiefs. They didn't have the run game like that against the Chiefs. The Chiefs caused turnovers. Now they got the offense back too. On top of that defense that shut the Lions out or shut them down, had them crying, had them whining, with the refs. Are you kidding me? Nah, I'm sorry. Listen, when I saw the Lions last night, what they did to the Bucks, a team that we beat too, right? I said they look better against the Bucks than we did. So I would put the Lions ahead of the Bills. The Bills' deep offense looks like our offense. They struggle at times. They don't really know what they're doing. You got Josh Allen throwing interceptions, but he's the media darling. They put him at an MVP conversation and just gave him the MVP last year. He ain't playing like no MVP quarterback right now.
Dude, the Buffalo Bills are the 3rd best offense in the NFL. How are they like the Eagles?
Listen, they don't look confident to me. I don't look at the Bills and go, oh man, they look like they can beat everybody.
Now I'll give you this. Buffalo is outside the top 10 in passing.
Didn't they lose to the Patriots?
Yeah, they have 2 losses. They have 2 losses. All right.
You gonna go ahead and talk me to death. I don't care what you're talking about. Stats are for losers. You keep bringing up stats. I'm telling you facts. I'm looking at the eye test. The Bills can't beat the Eagles right now. They cannot.
I gave you stats the past 2 weeks, and Eagles lost the past 2 weeks. So stats were for losers, by the way.
Yo, that's the thing. You keep looking at these stats. The stats would have told you, like we said saw in that video, the stats told you that the Vikings are supposed to beat the Eagles. Right?
Yeah, well, the stats also told us the Eagles were supposed to beat the Giants, too.
All right. Okay.
What
you got, stat boy?
I love when a plan comes together. That's another white boy. All right, let's get to our Eagles-Giants preview. Let's get into it here.
Yeah.
So the Giants exploited the Eagles' weaknesses on the offensive line in the last matchup for sure. They had Brett Toth filling in for Dickerson. Brian Burns notched 2 sacks against the left side offensive line, once on a stunt and another from 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. So he banged him for 4. I mean, that cannot happen again. Hopefully we're pretty healthy going into this. We don't know what Cam is doing yet, so that is still an option. I think Toth is okay. We talked about this. Maybe get Drew Kendall. Who knows? But I think you leave out if he has any kind of even a little injury with his knee, I leave him out because then you have 2 weeks for him to get healthy and 3 weeks actually total to get healthy for that next game. So I'm not rushing Juergens back for anything. I'm not certainly rushing him up for the Giants game, but I know they have a good defensive line, but that's it. So if Juergens can't play again, they might, he would be tasked with, going right up against Dexter Lawrence. So that's going to be a little tough. He hasn't been as disruptive as a pass rusher this year as last year.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't posted a sack this year, but Lawrence is still Lawrence, and he's still tough. But I said right now they're still going to have to be stout against this defensive line.
No, that's going to be the challenge. Like that's definitely the challenge.
And last time the Eagles faced the Giants, that rookie quarterback got his legs going, so he scrambled 5 times for 42 yards and a touchdown, which helped him reach a career high of 58 rushing yards in 13 attempts. So that cannot happen again. So they've got to keep the defensive line at bay. They've got to keep him in the pocket. I don't know if you saw that, but improved tackling would be big because Dart forced 3 missed tackles against the Eagles. So that cannot happen.
Carter was not
there. I know he's coming back. But just so you know, the defense has struggled at times preventing quarterbacks from breaking loose. I mean, Patrick Mahomes got loose, Carson Wentz got loose, Jackson Dart got loose. So all these guys got to get better.
That was a product of 4 rushers, everybody else in coverage, not maintaining the gap integrity.
Right.
Too much pressure on one side, quarterback goes this way. Too much pressure here, quarterback goes up the middle. They got to learn, and BG's going to help them learn all of that.
I'm just saying, either way, whether that's the reason or not, they're letting too many quarterbacks get out there, and that's got to stop. Giants on offense, they're about 17th on offense overall, 11th on rush, passing 20. So their rushing offense is pretty decent. That's the only thing we probably have to tidy up a little bit. On their defensive side, Carter. I know here's the thing on the defensive side. This is what's crazy how we look so bad. Their defense is 29th in the NFL. 29th. They're worse than us. And they're below 20 in both pass and run. So if we don't do something crazy on offense and just kill these people offensively, I don't know what to tell you. So that being said,
worried one iota about the game on Sunday.
I'm still worried, but I'm going to tell you.
I'm not worried at all.
Here's the thing. They cannot lose. I mean, that's the whole reason I'm picking them to win because they cannot lose. There's no way they can lose.
Look at my face.
Do I have to look at your face? Don't make me look.
Let me explain something to you. It's Kelly Green week, man. The Eagles ain't losing to no damn Giants in Kelly Green week, baby. It's over. This is going to be like we used to beat the Giants. We used to wear the black. We used to, always wear the black when we played the Giants on night football, on Thursday night or Sunday night football. Every time we hit Eli, we wore black. We played him at night. This is going to be the same result.
All right, so give me your final score and your player of the game on offense and defense.
Eagles 35, Giants 10.
And your player of the game.
Offensive player of the game, Saquon Barkley. Defensive player of the game, Jalen Carter.
All right, I'm gonna go Eagles 31 because I think the offense is gonna get better. I still don't see them breaking out, but I'll go with 31. I think the Giants get 13. I think they get 1 touchdown, but they get a couple field goals, and then that's it. On offense, I'll give you somebody that's going to be. I believe they're going to use this, and I hope they do. But I believe with that pass rush, they're going to look a little shorter stuff, and I think Dallas Goedert's going to be the star of the game. I really think he's going to be the star of the game. I think they just exploit that middle of the field because they're going to rush. They're going to do a quick hit, and I think that Dallas is going to be the beneficiary of that. On defense, this is what I think. I think that the player of the game out of nowhere finally is going to be Blankenship. I think Blankenship's going to have 2 picks.
Oh wow, that's a huge.
That's easy. I think Jackson Dart.
If you write on this, we're gonna pull this back out the archives. All right.
White guy.
Yeah. White bias on this, but go ahead, man.
But I think you're going to see
black guys. Go ahead.
It's only fair. I got to even this shit out, folks. I got to even it out. You got to go the white and the black. No, but I think because I think they're going to pressure Jackson Dart because of Carter. I believe they're going to put more pressure on him this time, and he's going to start throwing things. And remember how sneaky Blankenship can be, and he just hasn't been that way this year. I think his sneakiness will come back this game.
Yeah, he's had his moments in the past, usually the seal games in the fourth quarter, but I'll keep my eye out on that one. But like I said, I don't have any worry whatsoever on Sunday.
All right, so here's your trivia. We're going to end up with a trivia night. So Jalen Hurts is just the third Eagles quarterback to have a passer rating. Who were the other two, and what games were they? If you can figure that out, it'd be great. 79-yard pass play to Devonta Smith by Hurts. It was his longest pass play since when? Because there was a one that he did previous to that, maybe a while ago, maybe not. But what was his longest pass play, and to who was it thrown to of all time? By the way, Devonta Smith had a career high 183 yards, including 152 in the second half. That's the most yards of any Eagles receiver since who? Who had the most yards before that? And see if you can figure that out. Last but not least, Marcus Mariota in 2018 with the Titans and Joe Flacco with the Ravens 2016 both beat the Eagles before they joined the Eagles. But who was the last quarterback to beat the Eagles after playing here? Can you remember that? That's pretty damn good. So there's your 4 trivia questions for tonight. If you get any of those, put it in the comments. We'll send you out some great merchandise. Look at BroadStreetMisery.com for all of your merchandise choices. So get it in there. Be the first to put it in there. We don't care if you cheat. It's all good. But you got to get all 4 because I want to hear all of them. All right? And you can also catch us every time on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, on X. Catch us on all those platforms. Check it out. We're going to have some great clips coming up every week. So catch us. Give us your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. As always, keep in touch during our live broadcast and afterwards. We want to hear you. So every week we're here, 9 o'clock, Tuesday night. We wrap up the Eagles. We talk about the NFL. We talk about everything you want to talk about. Come hit us up. All right. As always, I'm Corey Alexander along with
Jay Bliss.
And we will see you next week, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. God bless you. Good night.
Go Birds.